There's some teams that have some tough early schedules, and I'm going to start with the Baltimore Ravens. If I'm a Ravens executive or fan, I think I'm kind of upset right now.
Well, why are you upset?
Well, look at this. Okay, we're starting off on the road at the Chiefs. Someone has to go on the road first. But then look, we've got at the Cowboys. We come back and we've got them against the Bills, but we're at the Bengals. 3 of our first 5 on the road and going on the road to tough teams. Kansas City is a tough place to win. Dallas is a tough place to win. Bengals is a tough place to win. That's a tough start.
Who cares? If I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I want to go on the road to the Kansas City Chiefs and beat them just like Detroit beat them last year in the opening game. And I want to go to the Raiders. I don't mind going to the Cowboys. There's nothing about the Cowboys that scares me. And when I look at the Bills are a team in transition. You know, what is their secondary going to look like? What is their defense going to look like? What is their offense without Stephon Diggs going to look like? And at the Bengals, see, for me, I don't mind as a player going on the road early, getting some tough games, because I think it sends a message to the league. I think it sends a message throughout the locker room that, hey, this is the type of team we are. This is the type of team that we need to improve. You know, these are the things that we need to improve on. And if you can get that early in the season and you can withstand that blow, I think it really sets you up for the latter part of the season.
No, you are right about that. And if anybody can do it, these guys can. John Harbaugh is a mentally tough coach. They've got a veteran quarterback now in Lamar. They've been through the wars. And you're right. If they come through this, you know, unscathed, and they've beaten the Bengals, they've beaten the Cowboys, if they beat the Chiefs, we are all going to sit back and take notice and say, wow, this might be the team to beat in the AFC.
Absolutely, Coach. And I was going to say, if they can put that schedule back up, if you can put that schedule back up real quick. Yeah, and you think about it, there's not a team that really intimidates the Baltimore Ravens when you look at it. And you look at the Browns, the Broncos, the Bengals, the Steelers. Those are all teams they feel like they can beat. I see Week 12 at the Chargers at Monday night. That's going to be a really good football game. But the Baltimore Ravens should be set up to go at least, I would say, 12-5 maybe. I look at them as 12-5 type team.
No, they'll be there at the end, no doubt about it. Now, another team that I worry about their first games of the season is the Buffalo Bills, too. They've got 4 of their first 6 games on the road. They've got a 3-game road streak, 3 in a row, which is rare in the NFL. And they've got some of these road games on short weeks. And that's what always concerned me as a coach. Okay, we open up against the Cardinals, but then we've got to go to Miami on a Thursday. Short week. We've got to travel. We'll come back later on. We've got the Ravens, Texans, Jets on Monday night. Then the Titans, you know, I just don't. They made it tough on Buffalo early.
They made it really tough. It almost, and I hate to say this, but it almost looks a little unfair for the Buffalo Bills. You start looking at it. You look at Week 4 at the Ravens, and then you have to travel, and that's going to be a heck of a defense and a very physical battle. Then you have to come right back and play a physical game at the Texans. Then you have to come back and play the Jets on a Monday night in New York against that physical defense. That's 3 weeks in a row. That's going to be tough for Buffalo. Hopefully they can stay healthy throughout that duration.
Yeah, and as a coach, you can't make excuses, and you got to tell your players, "Hey, we're going to get through this." But having to go to Miami on a short week, to Baltimore on a short week, play 3 games in a row on the road early on, you're going to be worn down. And when does that bye come in? They don't get their bye till Week 12. They might need a bye after Week 5 or Week 6.
But now, how important is it for the coach to gauge the players and how tired they are and, you know, the structure of the practice, coach?
You do. You have to work through that. You got to take that travel into consideration, but you can't come across as an excuse maker. And that's the tough part of it. You can't show any type of weakness. I would probably be calling the commissioner's office now complaining backdoor. I'm not going to complain to the media, or I'm not going to complain to anybody else, but I'd say, you know what, you guys owe us one next year.
Yeah, it sounds like those Indianapolis Colts when they used to call in and complain a lot.
Hey, one more team I want to look at with a tough start is the Jacksonville Jaguars, too. The Jags had a down year, off year last year, didn't make the playoffs. They're looking to bounce back, but look how they start. Okay, 4 teams, all playoff teams, 3 of them on the road.
And once again, the first month of the season, I'm looking at the defense, and the Dolphins did a good job of going out there and grabbing some pass rushers. We know the Browns are one of the top defenses in the league. Sean McDermott always does a great job with his defense. And D'Amico Ryans, are you kidding me? And then you still got to deal with the coach. The Colts, they bring a lot of energy. They got some really good, young, talented players on the defensive side of the ball. Even the Bears have improved on the defensive side of the ball. We already talked about the Patriots. Yes, I feel terrible for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They will not make the playoffs this year, Coach. I'm saying it right here, right now. There's no way with this schedule. This is absolutely brutal. How could the NFL do this to the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah, just think if you're Trevor Lawrence, you got 3 road games early in the season. You got to go to Miami, to Buffalo, and to that Houston team with D'Amico. And your one home game is the Cleveland Browns, and you got to deal with Myles Garrett and all that pressure from the Browns defense. You know, wow, that's a tough assignment.
Well, the good thing for them is Jacksonville, from week 5 to week 8, they have 4 straight home games. So they have a month of home games. So it's against the Colts. The Bears,
well, they'd be
Patriots,
recovered by then, though. If they're 1-3 and struggling, maybe they can get it back together. But that's what I don't understand. Why would you give us 4 home games in a row and give us that tough schedule where we're traveling the first month? Balance it out a little bit.
But is that what the National Football League is about, balance, or is it about just taking on these challenges? Because think about it, Coach, when the schedule first comes out, and I don't know how you look at the schedule, but most players look at the schedule and they go and say, okay, this is a win. They put a check. This is going to be tough. This is a win. This is a win. How do you guys look at it how do you look at it when you look at the schedule?
I looked at it as a coach. Who do we play on the short weeks? Who do we have to really gear up for? How many times do we go back to back on the road? What do the other teams? Are we playing somebody who's coming off a bye when we had a Monday night game? Those are the kind of things I look at. And when I look at 3 games in a row on the road, I know that's going to be tough. Doesn't matter who you play.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.